wake up ready one day, empty the next, chasing a feeling that comes and goes like weather.
Nietzsche didn't wait for motivation. He built a system that worked when he wanted to die. That's the difference between children and men.
The spark you wait for never arrives. It's a myth. A comforting lie. You felt it. That familiar inertia. The silence where action should be. You tell yourself, first'll start when first feel motivated. But motivation is a fickle guest. It visits briefly, then vanishes, leaving you back where you began. This cycle drains you. It erodes your will. There's another way. A harder path. But one that leads to true, lasting progress. A path forged not in fleeting feelings, but in deliberate choice. Discover how to build this strength. The will to power. The will to power is not about brute force. It is a fundamental drive. It is the urge to grow, to overcome, to assert oneself. Think of a seed pushing through concrete. It does not ask for permission. It simply wills itself to break free. This is a small example of the will to power at work. Consider the quiet ambition in a person's eyes. It is not always loud or obvious. It is the steady effort to improve a skill. It is the quiet determination to build something lasting. This internal force seeks to expand its own capabilities. It is the drive to become more than one currently is. It manifests in mastering a craft, in learning a new language, or in simply enduring hardship with resolve. This will is evident in the subtle ways we shape our environment. We arrange our spaces to reflect our preferences. We seek influence in our relationships, not necessarily to dominate, but to create a certain order. It is the desire to leave a mark, however small. It is the instinct to organize chaos into something meaningful. This is not about control over others. It is about control over one's own existence and its surroundings. The will to power is the engine behind sustained effort. It is what allows us to push past discomfort. It is the inner voice that whispers, "Do it anyway." It is the source of self-discipline. This drive is the antidote to stagnation. It is the quiet strength that allows for transformation. It is the power to become. Amor fati. Embrace what is. This is the heart of amor fati, a love of fate. It means accepting everything that happens, good or bad, as necessary. It is not resignation. It is a deliberate affirmation. You see a difficult task ahead. Instead of wishing it away, you accept it. You embrace the struggle. This acceptance is a source of strength. It frees you from the constant battle against reality. Consider the small annoyances. The traffic jam. The spilled coffee. The harsh word from a colleague. Normally, these might fester, breeding resentment. With amor fati, you acknowledge them. You see them as part of the unfolding of your day. They are not personal attacks. They are simply events. You choose how to respond. You can choose to be angry. Or you can choose to accept. This acceptance is not weak. It is a quiet power. This practice extends to larger challenges. A job loss. A relationship ending. These are not failures to be fought. They are chapters to be read. You learn from them. You grow. You integrate them into your story. The pain is real. The sorrow is valid. But amor fati asks you to love even the pain. To see its role in shaping you. It is a difficult discipline. It requires constant vigilance. The goal is not to feel joy in suffering. That is a misunderstanding. The goal is to see the necessity. To find the freedom in what is. When you stop fighting what you cannot change, your energy is reclaimed. It can be directed towards what truly matters. Towards building. Towards creating. Towards living fully within the bounds of your reality. This love of fate is a profound act of self-mastery. Eternal recurrence. The weight of existence presses down. You must confront the thought of living this precise life, every joy and every sorrow, an infinite number of times. This is the core of eternal recurrence. It is not a hopeful promise. It is a stark test. Would you embrace this repetition? Or would you shrink from the thought, wishing for a different path? Consider a mundane Tuesday. The same traffic jam. The same stale coffee. The same indifferent faces. If this day, this very moment, were to repeat forever, how would that change your perception of it? It forces a reckoning with the present. Each choice, each action, gains a terrifying significance. You are not merely living through a day. You are choosing to live through eternity. This perspective demands a radical acceptance. It asks you to love your fate, as the Stoics might say, but with a Nietzschean intensity. It is not about finding happiness in the repetition. It is about affirming every single aspect of your life, even the parts that cause pain. The agony of regret, the sting of failure, the quiet ache of loneliness, all must be willed into eternity. If you can look upon your life, with all its imperfections, and say, yes, let this be so, again and again, then you have passed the test. This is not a call to action. It is a call to being. It is the quiet understanding that this is all there is. And in that understanding, there is a profound, unshakable stillness. The Übermensch. The Übermensch is not a goal for the weak. It is a state of being for those who transcend ordinary human limitations. It is about forging oneself into something greater. This involves overcoming internal resistance. It means confronting one's own weaknesses without flinching. It is a quiet, internal battle. Consider the artist who labors for years. They face rejection. They doubt their own vision. Yet, they continue. They push past the desire for immediate praise. They find satisfaction in the act of creation itself. This dedication, this self-mastery, echoes the Übermensch's path. It is not about external validation. It is about internal resolve. The Übermensch embraces the struggle. They do not seek comfort or ease. They understand that growth comes from adversity. They look at challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Opportunities to test their strength. Opportunities to learn and adapt. This perspective shift is crucial. It transforms perceived burdens into stepping stones. This is not about brute force or dominance. It is about a profound inner strength. It is about the capacity to redefine oneself. To set one's own values. To live authentically, even when it is difficult. The Übermensch does not wait for permission. They act. They create their own meaning. They are the architects of their own existence. This requires immense self-awareness. It demands a willingness to face the void and fill it with purpose. Master-slave morality. The master sees himself as good and the things he does as natural. His actions are noble. The slave, however, sees the master's actions as evil. He calls himself good. His own actions are considered good only in opposition to the master's. This is a fundamental shift in perspective. It is not about inherent goodness. It is about how one defines it. Think of the powerful person. They act according to their own will. They see their desires as right. They do not question their own value. Their actions are the standard. They create the values. They are the creators. They do not need external validation. Their self-worth is intrinsic. Now consider the oppressed. They are forced to react. They define themselves by what they are not. They are not like the master. Therefore, they are good. Their goodness is a negation. It is a reaction to power. This creates resentment. It is a quiet, simmering anger. It fuels their worldview. This division shapes how we see the world. It influences our judgments. It dictates what we deem right or wrong. The master's morality is one of affirmation. It says, "First am good." The slave's morality is one of negation. It says, "You are evil, therefore first am good." This subtle difference has profound consequences. It shapes societies. It dictates our inner lives. The flicker of motivation is a fickle thing. It comes and goes, leaving you stranded. But the method of Nietzsche offers something more. It is the discipline of the will, the commitment to action even when the desire is absent. You are not a slave to your feelings. You are the architect of your deeds. Choose the path of action, not the fleeting warmth of inspiration. The strength you seek is not found in waiting, but in doing. This is the foundation for building something real. Next time, we will explore how to cultivate this inner discipline through the power of habit.